I've wanted to do this live for a while because I have chosen a specific goal, and what I realized is that if I achieve this goal, I better have my accounting in order. Now, normally what I do, not the best business advice, is I have I don't know, can you see it there? It's a liquor box. It's holding files. And I literally take my receipts and things like that, and I literally just chuck them in the box. And then the next year, I sort everything and take it to the accountant, and they do the bookkeeping. But my business has only been not quite a liquor box full. Last year, it was a banker box full. And, oops, sorry. I filled the banker's box. Ooh. And I don't have the mute. Anyway, I have a banker's box full. And I thought, I achieved this business goal. I better have my accounting done now because I won't have time when this goal manifests. Well, I poured everything out. I have covered the living room floor. This is way worse than I thought. I realized, one, I should have done this way sooner. Two, the other thing that I need to do is for 2026, I'm going to set up a banker's box right at the beginning. And as I get the receipts, don't just put them in, no, file them immediately. File them immediately. And so you're probably wondering, because I titled this Manifesting in Finance, how does you sitting there sorting your accounting have to do with manifesting? Well, I'm basically telling the universe that I'm serious about getting to the next level of my business. And I'm doing that by dealing with the paperwork and making sure my books are in order, because if I don't have them in order, it will be very difficult to get to the next level, or worse, to try and catch up when I hit the next level. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting systems in place. So I'm catching up, and as I'm doing this, I'm putting systems in place for the next steps. So here's what I want you to do. A lot of people say to me, hey, I don't understand why my goals aren't manifesting, or one of the things that I do is I maintain Helene Hadsel's legacy. And one of the things that she taught was the SPEC method. So I get so many messages from people, and they say, I used Helene Hadsel's SPEC method and it didn't work. Now, if you're wondering what the SPEC method is, it stands for Select It, Project It, Expect It, Collect It. So SPEC. And with that acronym, people say, well, I did everything and it didn't work. Well, there's a lot of layers to that, and I need to do a proper YouTube video on that, because there's things that you can do wrong at every step. And sometimes things take a long time to manifest because you're not doing, the one that trips most people up is the E and being ready. But anyway, I digress. So what we're doing here is I'm sorting out my finances, and I'm saying to the universe, yeah, I am serious about going to the next level, and I'm going to show you how serious I am by getting this done now and having all my ducks in a row. And, oh yeah, that's in the right pile. And I'm going to show you how I plan to move forward. So that's what I am in the midst of doing. I just bought toner this afternoon. I got more file folders, envelopes, and labels. I haven't had to do that in a long time, so it shows how really serious I am about the manifesting. Because here's the thing. To manifest what you want, you have to become that person. So and if you are that person, it has to show up. So if my goal hasn't been achieved yet, it means I'm not that person yet. So who is the person, who is the Carolyn that has that goal? Well, she's organized with her accounting. Well, this Carolyn isn't organized with her accounting. So we're changing that. So that's something I want to ask you to ask yourself. If you are wanting to manifest a goal, one of the exercises you can do, did I put that in the right pile? Yes, I did. One of the things that you can do is sit down and say, what are the qualities of the person that has X, Y, and Z? Whatever your goal is. Your goal can be whatever it is. You're allowed. This is the beauty of this planet, is you get to pick and do whatever you want. So if you want to be an acrobat, go ahead. You want to be an artist, go ahead. You want to be an accountant, go ahead. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. And that is fantastic. But if you have not achieved your goal yet, so for example, I'm a Toastmaster, and one of the Toastmasters meetings we're at, now this had to be, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago. There was a young man at the meeting, and he was, I don't have a pile for April. Oh, yes, I do. He came all the way from South Africa, and he was going to the local aviation college, because we have an airport here in town. And he told us a story that he was in his town, and he decided he wanted to become a pilot. Well, from where he was, that was never going to happen. And he gave a speech, and through a series of circumstances, because he was so focused on the goal of becoming a pilot, he kept putting himself in a place to connect with people. He ended up coming to Canada, enrolling in the aviation college, and was on his way to becoming a commercial pilot from halfway around the world. And he decided to become the person that is a pilot. So what does a pilot have? A pilot has determination. He would read, he would study, he did all the things, and those doors slowly opened for him. Now, he still had to come to another country. He still had to go to school and study for years, and then take hundreds? It's hundreds and hundreds of hours of flying. So one of the things I notice a lot of people want is when they want it to manifest, they want to manifest instantly. Well, when he first thought to be a pilot, he couldn't just instantly manifest him being a pilot. He had to learn, he had to train, he had to go to school, he had to travel halfway around the world in this case. And he took every opportunity that he had. So I want you to think about it. It took him years to manifest his dream of becoming a pilot. But he eventually did it. And he got his goal. So I want you to start thinking about what are your goals? What does the person who has what you want have? What are the characteristics of that person? What do they do? What are their habits, right? You remember Helene Hadsel's favorite, Frank Outlaw. Watch your words, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. And I'm missing a line in there. But you get the idea. It starts with a thought. So sit and write down all the characteristics and things and actions and habits that the successful person has that you want. Like if there's a goal and you want it, and they have it, what do they do that has them have it? Okay, that's what you got to think about. And then write it down, and then ask yourself, what actions can I take today even if it's like a tiny step in that direction, will I take? Because there's an expression that if you take one step towards the universe takes 10 steps towards you, because you're taking action. That's the big leave out that was left out in The Secret. You know, the ask, believe, receive. Well, the word action was left out of there because manifesting is action. When you're taking action, that's how it comes about. It just doesn't come about out of thin air. You know what I mean? And you need to take steps in that direction to manifest your dreams and embody, start becoming the person that has that. So if your goal is to run a marathon, what does a person who run a marathon, what do? They might get up at 5 o'clock every day and go to the gym to lift weights and get stronger. They might go and run so many miles every day, right? Or mix that up. They might have a special diet that increases their protein. They might join a local running club to make friends and get tips and find out what the best shoes are because they want to run this marathon. They might find a running buddy, someone that has things. And again, if you're a couch potato and you decide you're going to run a marathon, you don't get up and just run a marathon. You could, it'd probably not be great. But what are the characteristics of that person? So you need to look at what your goals are and who you want to be. So here's one that you might think, well, I want a romantic partner. How am I going to be that person? Well, first of all, I heard this example and I can't remember who gave it. This was years ago. But if you want a romantic partner, and you want somebody to live with you, for example, or even have somebody stay on the weekends, is there room for them? Clean out half your closet, empty half your drawers, sleep on one side of the bed, leave the other side open, start parking your car on one side of the driveway instead of dead center. Right? Tell the universe, I'm making space in my life for somebody else. Right? After I got my divorce, I stayed single for 4 years because I was a hot mess. And I thought, I am a hot mess. I wouldn't want to date me. I have to wait until I become the person that I would want to date. And so I took a 4-year break. And then the universe gave me a little test. I dated someone that seemed great on the surface, but didn't have some great characteristics that I wasn't comfortable with. And I said, you're nice, just not for me. Like every pot has a lid. Didn't fit. And once I set that boundary, embodying the person that has that type of relationship, because they say no to this type of behavior, I got a relationship, the perfect one for me. And I've been with George 8 years now. So, and I had put that type of dating on my vision board years before I got a divorce. So the universe said to me, are you sure you want that? And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And they're like, yeah, well, here's the problem. The relationship you're in now doesn't fit that dynamic. So we got to get rid of that relationship first. And then you need to heal all the things inside you that allowed that type of relationship. Now we're going to make sure that you're healed enough. And then once we know that you for sure have embodied those characteristics, you can have that. Could I have done that a heck of a lot faster? Probably. Did I? No. Because I even remember talking to some of my friends at times when I was going through all the energetic and emotional changes. And I knew what to do up here. But here it was like slogging through mud. And I just had to go through the process. And it took a heck of a long time. That's okay. So this is what I want you to remember when you're trying to manifest something. Right? Set a goal. Any goal you want. That's the beauty. Helene called her book the Name It and Claim It game. Game. We're here to have fun. We're here to play. So play with your goals, right? What do you want to do? If nothing, Tony Robbins did this exercise years ago. If money wasn't an object, if there was no obstacles, just sit with a piece of paper and just write everything you would do. If time and money and skill sets and everything was not an issue, what would you want to do? Just write it out. Just close your eyes for a minute, think about it, and then just start writing and just let it flow through you. What do you want? What do you want? What kind of job do you want? What kind of house do you want to live in? Where do you want that house to be? Or apartment or thatched hut? It could be anything. Do you want to live on the beach? Are you a ski bunny? Right? Do you like to live in the forest? Do you like the big bustling cities? Do you want to live in a high rise? Right? What do you want? Anything. What type of relationship do you want? Or you don't want one? Right? Do you like to travel? Are you a homebody? Do you want a fancy car? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to write a book? Whatever it is, you can write it down. Anything you want. Any goal you have. A skill you want to learn? What's on your bucket list? What's on your bucket list? It's fantastic. There's no limits. You can just write whatever you want. So write it down and see what comes up for you. And then pick one. Don't overwhelm yourself because you might have a whole sheet of stuff, right? Pick one. And then on another piece of paper, write that goal down. And start writing down all the types of things the person that has achieved that goal or does that thing or has that thing or whatever it is or lives in that place has. What do they do? Right? Like one of my goals, and I don't see it happening this winter, but it could, who knows? I'm going to give it probably a trial run somewhere for a couple of weeks, is to live south somewhere for 3 months, January, February, March. So I miss the winter. I'm not a fan of winter. I don't like the cold, so I'd like to miss the majority of it. So what did I do? We changed our phone plans to be Canada, US, Mexico. Still no Caribbean plan, but we'll figure that out. Or overseas plan. I completely got another set of computer equipment for travel. So, because my computer is huge and heavy. It's not your digital nomad kind of laptop. So I have a travel camera. I have a travel microphone. I have a travel laptop. I have, like, the only thing I haven't bought, I have one of the small lights, but not the best, but I can set it by a window, and I've fudged it here and there when I've traveled. So lighting I can work on. And I've got a stand for the camera and everything. So, and I even gave it a trial run when I was at the annual National Sweepstakes Convention. I did a live packing prizes with all the equipment. It worked pretty good. So that's, what does the person that lives south do, right? Because I can't just stop work. I need to keep working. So my plan is to, get up early, maybe go walk on the beach, have breakfast, sit down, work, have lunch, go hang out on the beach all afternoon, have a shower, get ready to go out for dinner, maybe do a little work, go out for dinner, come back, maybe work, maybe not. Depends on the day. So work maybe 4 to 6 hours a day. And if you just focus and don't fiddle around and play on the internet, you can accomplish that. Now, let's see. I got these piles started. Okay, so now I got to put them in date order. That's what I'm doing. So, if you are, so that's what I need you to do. I need you to start looking at your goals and saying, who is the person that has that? Well, the person who has achieved the goal that I want has their accounting organized, and actually probably gives it to the accountant once a month. or once every 2 months. I'm not there yet, but I should have systems in place that I can get to that goal, right? So what is your goal? Like, what do you want? What type of things do they have? And for me, the person that has that is organized. And that just happens to be this goal, right? So I have lots of goals. Some I'm achieving and some I'm not. And this is actually one of them, because I think also if I'm more sorted in my accounting, I'm not going to spend days trying to figure it all out because it's already done. Well, the time that I'm spending doing this, I could be writing. And guess what? I make my money when I write books and sell books and teach classes, right? Or even on YouTube. I'm slowly building up a YouTube following. So if I have my YouTube, there's January, yay. If I have my YouTube in order, right? Or have my accounting in order, I have more time to film. So many things happen when you put systems in place. And right now I don't have a system in place, so it became clear that I need one. So what systems do you need to put in place to achieve your goals? It's a great question to ask yourself. What do I need to do to achieve my goals? Who do I have to become to achieve that goal? Who's the person that has that goal? That's what I would ask myself. Anyway, I just wanted to say that because I'm sitting here working on my accounting, and that's all I can think about. Is I get those questions all the time about Helene Hatzel's Spec method not working, but they just want stuff to magically show up and take away their problems instead of doing all the necessary steps to become the person that has the thing. They think that if that thing happens, comes true, or whatever, that all their problems will magically be solved. Well, that's not how it works. So, for example, the one thing I get all the time is, I want to win the lottery. Well, what will the lottery do? Well, the lottery will allow me to do this and do that, and I won't panic about money. Okay, well, what could you do now, today, so that you wouldn't panic about money? Could you start a YouTube channel and start helping people? Are you really good at cooking? Maybe you could start a cooking channel. I don't know. Right? What could you do to take steps towards that goal? Right? If you want to reach that goal, what all opportunities are out there? Now, you could still win the lottery. I'm not saying it won't happen. I've talked to Timothy Schultz, but he told me that, you know, I did an interview with him because he won $28 million in the Powerball. Did it solve all his problems? It solved a bunch. But guess what? He also got new problems. He got new problems. And he actually struggled quite a bit because he had what they call winner's guilt. It was very interesting that he had this, you know, winner's guilt. Where's March? Okay. This is Q1 accounting. Yay. Oh my God. This is not my favorite task, which is why I need to set up a system so that it is in place and I don't have to do this for days on end every month, every year. It's not good to be doing this. So, let's see, March 24th. So I need the 17th. So that's what we're doing here. I'm just helping you achieve your goals and your dreams by taking steps towards them and embodying the person that has what you want. And sometimes that means a lot of self-reflection and a lot of self-growth. And that's what people don't want to hear. They want magical cures that will fix everything and they don't have to do any of the shadow work. But guess what? That's not how this place works. I know, it's not the answer you wanted. But I'm off to do more accounting, and I hope I've answered some of your questions regarding manifesting your dreams. So become the person that has the goal, and you'll be amazed at what doors the universe opens.